Okay guys, so this is the tutorial video for our independent project. Now our independent project is going to be what we work on if we ever finish early or if we have extra time and we want to work on this. Your independent project will be due at the end of the semester, so you want to get this done throughout the rest of your time in this class. So you don't want to get this done in one day. That's not necessary. It's not going to be due in a week. It's going to be due at the end of the semester. So make sure you pace yourself. Don't rush through it. You'll get it finished. We'll have plenty of time to do that. So to start this, we want to click our Chrome and we want to go into Photopea. Now, once we get here, we want to create a new project. And we want to name it Independent and then our name. So that would be me. You can do your first name, your last name, doesn't matter. We want to change the pixels to inches. And we want to change our width to 8.5 and our height to 11. And then we want to change our DPI, so dots per inch, to 300. We want to keep our background white and then click create when you're ready. Okay, perfect. So the next thing we want to do is we want to go to a new tab and you want to find a cartoon character. So it can be any that you want. I am going to click Pikachu. I think he's cute. So click images. We want to find a good clear picture of Pikachu. So this one over here, although it is cute, it's tempting, but this picture is not very clear and it's a little bit dark. So the ones that look more realistic, we probably don't want to choose. You want to choose one that looks like the cartoon character. So this one would be perfect. This one's good down here. This one's also good. And this one. We want to choose ones that are very clear. They have bold colors and a white background. So I'm going to click on this. I'm going to do a right click onto this picture. So if you don't have a mouse, you right click. If you just use 2 fingers and tap the finger pad on your laptop, it should come up, there we go, with this menu. So I want to click copy image. And then I'm going to go back to Photopea. And I'm going to do edit and paste. So here we are. He's a little bit small, so we want to make sure that he fills up the whole page. So I'm going to go back to edit and click on free transform. Okay, so I'm going to stretch this guy out. If it goes the whole page, he looks a little bit too stretched out, so I'm going to just bring it up a tiny bit. But you want to make sure that they're taking up most of the page. So when I have where I want him to be, I click enter on my keyboard, and it should just place him down right on my paper. Perfect. So the next thing that I want to do is I want to go over here to my layers to the right, and I want to click on opacity. And I want to bring this down to about 50%. Okay. It doesn't have to be exact. As long as it's around 50, that's great. So what we want to end up doing is filling this entire cartoon character with letters. And then at the end, it looks very cool. I'll show you an example when we get into class, and I'll post one on Google Classroom. So for this one, we want to work really close to our character. So I'm going to try to zoom in. So to zoom in on any of your images, you can click this zoom tool here. It's just a magnifying glass, and you can click in or you can click out, however you would like to do it. If you right click, it'll tell you to zoom out. Although I realize that I think using the keypad is much easier. So if you want to use the keypad, you're going to click Control and then the plus sign. The plus sign is next to the backspace button. So you're going to hold down Control, click the plus sign, and then if you want to zoom out, you can hold Control and press the minus sign, which is right next to it. I think that's much easier. And then you can use the finger pad to move around where you want to go. So I'm going to zoom in to about here. And the next thing I want to do is create my letters. So I'm going to click the text tool down here, or the type tool on Photopea. So I click on that, and then I click somewhere where I can see, so somewhere in that white area. So I'm going to choose a letter. For this one, I'd probably choose the letter P because that's his name, Pikachu. It starts with a P, so you can use any letter. And I'm going to make a capital P. This is a bit small, so I want to highlight this. And then I want to change the size to, it's too big, maybe about 50. We'll change the size to about 50. And then once I have the size, everything up here is good. We can keep the font, whatever it comes up as, and then we can click confirm, the check mark. So now we want to move this P onto our cartoon character. So we want to click on our move tool, and I'm going to move this P down here. So we want to fill him up, but we want to make sure that all the letters are the right colors. So if I put my P over here, it should be yellow because he's yellow. So what I want to do is I'm going to change the color of this P. So I'm going to go into my color picker here. I'm going to click on this. And then I don't know the exact color because if I click this, it changes to the color of Pikachu with, the opacity at 50%. And we don't want that. I want to get his color when he's at his full color. So what I'm going to do is come over here to my layers, click on my cartoon character layer, and then I'm going to change my opacity back to 100 just for a second. Perfect. So then I'm going to click the color that I need to get. I need this color here. So I'm clicking this, and there it is. And then I'm going back to opacity, changing that back to 50 so we don't forget. And I click OK. Okay, so I'm going to go back. The next thing I'm going to do is change this P. So I'm going to go back to my text right here, P. I have it. Here he is. And I want to change the color. So I am going to double click, and I'm back in my text tool. So if you double click on that P, you'll be able to change the color. And then I want to go up to here. You see this black box. I'm going to click on that. And we want to make him the color that we just chose. Now, our color that we just chose is not here yet. It's over here. So we want to click on that top box. And look, it takes us right to this color. So then we click OK. And we should see that our P, you can't really see because it's yellow on yellow, but our P changed to this color. So what I want to do is go back into the move tool, and I'll be able to move him around. Now that's how you change the color for anything. So if I wanted to change it back to black, I could do that as well, or any other colors that's in here. So he also has some pinks and reds. So what I want to do is start filling up my Pikachu. So I'm going to move this into the corner here. And then on my keyboard, I'm going to click Control-J. That's to make a copy. So I'm making a copy of this P. Nothing happened on my screen. But then if I use my arrow keys, you can see that the P did copy. So I'm going to move my P a little bit close. I want to keep the letters as close to each other as possible to make this look the best that it can look. So we want to fill up this entire character with these P's. So again, I'm going to click Control-J, and here we go. We can use our arrow keys, move the P down, and again, Control-J. So I'm going to keep clicking Control-J until I fill up this entire character with these P's. So let's say I wanted to move on into the next color. I will click Control-J again, and I'm going to move my P into this black section, but I need him to be black. So I can go right over here, once again, go to my layer 1, put my opacity all the way up, and I need to change this. So I'm going to click on my color picker, click the area that you want to change the color to, black, click OK, and then I go all the way back up to my first layer on the list. So this is P copy 4. We're going to probably have like over 100 copies. So you always want to make sure you go to the copy at the very top of the list. That way that's the one that you're changing. So I'm going to double click on this P, and then this highlights right here. We click on this box, and then we change it to this one right here. So it's not entirely black, as you can see, it's like a gray. So I'm going to click on this, okay, and it should almost disappear, right? Because it's exactly the same color as this. So we want to go back to layer 1, change our opacity back. You always want to make sure that your character is at 50% opacity unless you're looking to change the colors. So right here, I go back up to my first text layer, and there he is. And then I click Control-J, and I can start making copies of my gray P. Control-J, and I keep going. So that is how you fill up this character. So then let's say I fill up all of these. I have the whole character filled up. At the very end, what you're going to end up doing is you're going to go down, but this is not till the very end. If you click on this eyeball, this is how you can kind of check your progress too. And if you click on the eyeball that your cartoon character has, he'll disappear. And then you'll be able to see the progress that you've made. Obviously, I have not made much progress, but I just wanted to show you guys that this is how we'll end up doing this. So always make sure you have him clicked on, but if you want to see how far you've gotten, you can always toggle this off and you can kind of check it out. And that's it. So that's for the independent project. You're, again, going to be working on this when you finish any project early, or if you have extra time, or you just feel like working on it. So this will be due, at least one of these will be due by the end of the semester. And I am confident that we will be able to complete this by then. So if you had any questions at all while you're completing this, it is very repetitive. So once we get the hang of, changing the colors and the opacity, you guys should have absolutely no problem, and you'll be able to create some very beautiful work. So just raise your hand if you have any questions. Again, it's always important, very, 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 very important to click File, Save as PSD every time we are finished. This is not like Google, so it doesn't save automatically. You have to save it all the time. So I click Show in Folder, and I want to make sure that he is here. Where's my folder? Is he in here? Digital Arts. Okay, so I have my pizza project. I'm going to click in Recent because I don't know where our Pikachu went. And it's loading. Okay. Oh, he did save in here. Okay, so here it is. Independent project. Bharati. I'm going to drag him over to my Digital Arts, or if you have a USB drive, it should be about right here. So you're going to click into the right folder, and he should be there. Yep, there he is. Perfect. Okay, so when that's done, you'll just upload that into Google Classroom. But for right now, let's just keep working on our independent projects, and you don't have to rush. We will get these finished. So if you have any questions, just let me know.